Fancy seeing you guys here. Welcome in to another episode of Trust the Tape. It's nice to see you guys. Good morning. My name is Jeff.
My name is Jeff.
Cavanaugh! It's my last name, Cavanaugh. I'm, of course, with former Cowboys scout, Super Bowl man with Super Bowl ring, and the greatest drafter of all time, the great and powerful Bryan Broaddus.
Hey, Bri.
How you doing this morning, Brian? It's good to see you.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Doing great. Appreciate that.
I like your Crown Global Media hat. Make sure that you're following Crown Global Media on YouTube to see all of the best content from Bryan Broaddus. I think you should do a whole show with it cocked off to the side like that.
Yeah.
I think that would be a nice show. I think that would be really good for entertainment value.
Got one of my hoodies on too.
You got a doing all right hoodie. See, I'm going Haymaker hat, DLLS hoodie. So we are all merched up for all.
We're merched up today.
All different things.
We're doing our best. We're doing our best.
Brian, do you have any crypto advice people wanted to know?
Absolutely, man. Don't whatever my Twitter account's telling you to do, make sure you do.
Do not do that. Do not do that. He's been hacked.
I've been hacked. I have been hacked. Yes, I have. I have been hacked.
Have you had great success in your crypto adventure, though? Are you making a lot
Evidently, I bought a new truck. I got a big new truck they also talked about. So I'll tell you, I just, you know what, working through it, it's, you got to kind of let the thing take its course. I've been trying to get in, trying to fix things. And just as long as there's not any explicit messages and stuff, I hope that people know that I've been hacked. I've been trying to get the word out there that, so actually it was a breach, I believe, from our friends over at the Texas Motor Speedway. Their media thing got breached. So I think that's how well, because I used to, I have to get credentials and stuff like that. So the password and all those things, when you breach, sometimes you keep saying password things. They tell you to change. Yeah, change different passwords and stuff. So
I don't know what you're saying.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to the thing where I'm going to do face recognition. That's what I'm going to start doing.
Well, I got to tell you, Brian, what was I trying to get into the other day?
And you couldn't do it because of face recognition?
It was an account of something that I hadn't been logged into in a while. And the last time I logged into it, I had a different phone. And so it was like,
was it like bicycling, golf?
I don't remember.
Workout?
Maybe it'll jump in my head.
All these adventures you're always on. What did you do that you hadn't done in a while?
I got it. Ring doorbell camera. Okay.
There we go.
Because I have DFW security from back in the day, right?
Yeah.
So I have all that, but I have a different doorbell cam just for the hell of it. And so I was trying to get logged into my doorbell cam, and it was like, all right, we sent a thing to your email. And then I go to my email because I don't know my password, and you got to do the password. So I go to my email and I click the little thing, and it's like, all right, we're going to go change your password. Before you change your password, we need to make sure it's you. And I'm like, well, I'm in my email. It's me. And it's like, no, why don't you go log in on the last device you logged in on? I don't have it. It doesn't exist. It's hard to log into stuff these days, and I understand that that's for a reason, because there's a lot of tomfoolery out there.
A lot of evil folks out there.
It wants me to triple thingy. Like, just let me into my stuff. That's all I want. I just want into my stuff.
Yeah. It's not easy, but you got to protect yourself out there, man. There's people want to harm you.
That's why I carry a sword. That's why I open carry a two-handed bastard sword.
Did I tell you that when I was watching film, like the last couple of years, I think this has been a couple of years trend, when these defensive backs do the seatbelt?
Yeah.
I thought that was a sword. I thought they were putting the sword away. I thought they were sheathing I thought they were killing the beast and putting the sword away. And everybody's like, no, you dumbass, they're doing the seatbelt.
I think
I thought it was a sword. I go, man, I like that. I was kind of thinking the Game of Thrones era, people like kind of picking stuff up. And I'm like, all these kids are doing they're putting their swords away. I love it. And so, but unfortunately, it's not that at all. It's the seatbelt thing. So here we are. I learned something.
I think it'd be way cooler if one DB came out and just said, yeah, you guys have it all wrong. We are not doing a seatbelt. We are sheathing our coverage sword. And
that's what I was, because they won't let you do the throat thing. That's not good.
Yeah.
So I was thinking something different is you're putting your sword away after killing the monster. That's kind of where I thought that was going, but
turns out CD's thing had some gangster to it, so that had to go away.
Yeah.
I thought he was just sniffing.
Yeah. I need one of my corners in this college, that we're watching to say, oh no, man, it's a sword. I'm slaying the dragons is what I'm doing.
Dude, that'd be amazing. There's a reason I own a sword, and the details on why I own a sword it doesn't matter.
Don't need to be that.
I got a big old two-handed sword, and I'd love it if it turned out that was what they were doing. You want to start with how the Cowboys are going to beat the crap out of Minnesota, and we're going to see if Philadelphia collapses, or you want to start with Jeff's mock draft roundup?
Let's go Minnesota first.
Okay. Is Tyler Guyton going to play? Are we okay?
Don't think so. Don't think so.
Are we good on our Nate Thomas experience, or do you have hope?
Well, this is what's different, and this is what's different about playing Brian Flores and the Vikings. It's coming. The Vikings aren't 4-8 because of their defense. They're 4-8 because of their offense, and namely their quarterback. Yep. When they played with Sam Darnold, they were a pretty damn good football team. And I think Brian Flores has forgotten how to call defense. This is going to be the challenge this week. And it's going to be coordinated blitz packages that you haven't seen all year. And so now he's going to test you with your blitz pickup. He's going to test you with your communication. He's going to test you with your coordination of being able to adapt to what he's trying to do. Been on a couple of platforms where I was telling people that I'm watching them play the Cincinnati Bengals, and it's Browning is the quarterback for the Bengals at the time.
Hell yeah,
and
Browning, let's go.
They walk up, he walks to the line, and he sets a play, sets his protection, what he sees with Minnesota. This is all why the play clock's going down. He sets the protection. Minnesota then jumps into another look. He has to walk back up and reset the protection. Minnesota then walks into a third look. They did 3 looks on one play to get a sack. That's the challenge that you're going to face this week. Our good friend Voch Lombardi said this perfectly. You got to feel blessed that this game's at home because of what Minnesota does to you, the noise factor. Dak is going to have to be on it. Williams is going to have to be on it. The tackles that struggled last week against the Detroit Lions are going to have to be on it because you're going to get pretty heavy blitz first and second down, and then you're going to get zone coverage played behind the blitz. You usually feel like that, oh, wow, you're going to get man, but he actually plays zone behind all the blitzing he does. So it's a unique situation. It is one of the most coordinated blitz packages that I've ever seen when it comes to, Dallas's blitz packages to run a linebacker into the B gap and hope for the best. This one's
occasionally Reddy Stewart comes off the nickel.
Yeah.
Occasionally.
Well, that's occasionally, but this one's you would marvel at, and this is going to be the challenge. Yes, their offense has struggled because of the quarterback play, and hopefully your defense will hold up against that. But now your offense has got to. I think this game has got a possibility of being really close, just because you're going to have moments where, oh damn, they got us, kind of a thing, And if Dak, man, he can navigate things. He can navigate it. And he's got a good back to pick stuff up, and but he's got some young offensive linemen too that their heads might be spinning a little bit. So keep an eye on Minnesota splits package in this game for sure.
When it comes to those offensive linemen, don't worry about the fact that almost everything that I think about now accidentally turns into draft talk. Okay, don't worry about that.
So you're thinking about these offensive tackles, then, aren't you? Is that what you're saying for the draft?
Haven't watched them yet. What I'm wondering about.
I knew that all the time, Jeff. Anytime we talked about watching offensive tackles or linemen, you were just kind of like, I don't know if I want to do that today.
What day is it today? What day of the week is it?
Today would be a Friday, Jeff.
All right, next Tuesday or this Tuesday, whatever
Okay.
the proper phrasing is. I dare
I
you
got
to
you.
ask me about one of the top 6 tackles. I dare you
I
on
got you.
Tuesday.
I got you.
Because I just wonder, I feel like what we're going to do with the Cowboys is we're going to see mock drafts, and these mock drafts are going to pick a bunch of positions over and over and over.
Yeah.
And just because they have used picks on Smith and Guyton
Yeah.
and BB and Booker, do you think that affects a strategy at all to where the Cowboys feel like they need to figure out? Because I don't think Terrence Steele will be here next year. It's my guess.
Probably not. Probably not.
I think he'll be a cap casualty. I've now seen Nate Thomas a good amount. I don't feel good about that. Do you think a first-round pick on another offensive lineman is a possibility, or do you think Jerry thinks like the fan base where it's like, damn, bro, how many first-round offensive linemen you need?
Yeah, I think the fact that you have a better scheme, you're better coached, the development of younger offensive linemen could be in the pipeline. Maybe you don't have to have a first-round one. I think it all really predicated on how your free agency goes. I want to believe that at Jerry Jones' age, that he is not interested in bottom fishing this free agency period. I want to believe that Jerry Jones is going to go out there and look at a linebacker, potential corner, maybe a safety, maybe an edge. I want to believe all those things because I for his willingness to make the Micah trade, which was a personal thing, but for him to go out, trade for a George Pickens, that worked out really, really well for him. The fact that he went out and gave substantial capital to go get Quinnen Williams, I want to believe that he's going to be aggressive in free agency. That's my belief as we sit here on December 12th. And so to me, if he goes out and shows aggressiveness that way, then I think it opens up his board for him. I think it opens up to where they don't have to sit there and take an edge, or they don't have to take a cornerback, or they don't have to take, it gives them flexibility to where you'd be saying like, well, they look like they're pretty good over here, at those spots it just named. Maybe the offensive tackle is the best player on the board there when they're picking it, whatever their first pick is going to be, somewhere probably between 15 and 20 right now.
See if we can't get a little higher. You know what I'm saying? I'd like to beat Minnesota, I'd like to make the playoffs, but if it's not going to happen, go ahead and stack up these L's.
You're in a bad spot if you want to do that because they're going to play hard. Now, if you lose to Minnesota, then the ice tanks show up. We're going through the Ardennes forests and trying to battle. Yeah.
I try to tell people there is no way to lose this weekend. Either you win and you keep it interesting for another week, or you lose and we strap on our helmets.
Oh, we're already talking about the draft. We're already talking about
just a skosh.
No. We're
just
talking.
a skosh.
No. Everybody's starting to lock in. You get guys like yourself that says, "Oh, give me till Tuesday, and I'll have 6 offensive tackles watched."
6 of them, bruh. 6 of them.
40 already guys done.
After I watch this Missouri edge tonight, I'll watch him.
Interesting thought about him. Be interesting to think which
Have you seen him? Have you seen him, Brian?
There's 2 Missouri edges. Which one are you talking about?
I'm obviously talking about Damon Wilson II.
I was talking about Zion Young is who I was talking about.
See?
Yeah.
See?
See, there's a couple of guys, like I said.
I haven't seen him. I was just reading a mock draft.
Okay. I got you. That's who they have Dallas taken, right?
Field Yates. Field Yates had Damon Wilson II out of Missouri as the second pick. And the first pick was, and this is the one that's I'm going to sky more this thing. The first pick for him was Sonny Styles, the Ohio State linebacker. And all I'm telling you right now is sign me the F up. Bad positional value. Give it to me. Give me the linebacker who's a freak show athlete and has good tape. Oh, give me the Sonny Styles. Let's go.
Oh, the Indiana tape from the Big Ten championship game gives you. You watch the Texas game, you're going to see a guy that kind of got stuck on blocks a little bit in that first week. By the time you get to Indiana at the end of the season, you see a guy that's doing a much better job of playing with his hands. But what's interesting about this cat was he was a converted safety.
Yeah.
So you got a guy that's got this kind of this knack for some of the coverage stuff he does, some of the awareness, the vision he plays for. Yeah, absolutely. This guy is a really good open field player. When you're 6'4", 243.
Sonny Warner. Yeah. Sonny Warner.
Loved
Fred Styles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Carrie's in the super chat. He said Jeff and or BB. I love Carrie's questions. Have we seen any Randy White or Danny White equivalent players coming up in the draft? Yeah. Who's your Danny White of this draft, Brian?
Well, Danny White was a really, really good athlete. If you know about the history of Danny White.
All right.
Danny
Lenore
White,
Sellers, that's your Danny White.
Arizona State quarterback, longtime backup, but then got the opportunity when Staubach retired, took the Cowboys to some NFC championship games, was actually your punter for a number of years. So here's a guy that was a really, really good athlete that was, I'll tell you, the best Arizona State athlete I've seen so far is Tyson, the wide receiver. So if you're talking about Arizona State players, I would check on Tyson, our wide receiver from
See, there he goes. He's always talking wide receivers. Brian, all he wants to talk about is wide receivers.
Oh, he's one of the best ones in the draft. He really is.
So the Cowboys are playing pretty good defense this weekend, and the Minnesota Vikings. Are you a firm believer? Because I look at it and I say, all right, yeah, I think their defensive front, I think it's a nice front. I think they're a well-coached team. I think all of those things.
Minnesota?
Yeah.
Oh,
Minnesota,
no, yeah.
I think they have a nice front. I think they're well-coached. I also think that they are just going to be overwhelmed by the existence of George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb. Do you think it's more likely George Pickens has another 100-yard game, or do you think it's more likely at the end of the game people are mad at George Pickens again?
I hope they're not mad at George. I hope they're not mad. Again, here we are, another national game. Guess where camera 16 is going to be the whole day. It's going to be watching George Pickens run routes, and then we're going to get some kind of comment that, that it was, well, he's just really not trying very hard, and it's like, oh, okay, well, here we are.
Look, the Cowboys' second best receiver is a really good player. It's going to be okay, guys. He's outstanding. Just enjoy it.
Yeah. But no, this is you could throw on these guys. You just got to protect. I mean, the where they struggle is in the middle of the field, and so that's kind of with the blitzing that they do. The safety play and all that. Harrison Smith and all that. Harrison Smith's played 100 years in this league, and they play a lot of base. They don't play a lot of nickel. I mean, that's kind of, they just match up with their guys. You see the zero coverage stuff, zero cover blitz, where they match up, and then here comes the blitz. It's going to be a matter of if Dak if they could block, again, we say this, if they block that front and pick up blitzes, yes, they can absolutely make plays on the secondary.
Somebody wanted to know what program you use to watch tape, and unfortunately, the answer to that is know a guy who has access to college tape and then watch the college tape.
That's,
can't share. There's nothing I can do to get it to the people, and I apologize, but you can always just go to YouTube and see what you can find on each player and do your best. Do that.
I'll tell you what. Listen, I'm. This is all seriousness. They have done some really, really, really good work with YouTube, and there's people out there. Just search the game. Put Georgia versus Alabama.
Yeah,
and you will get a quality TV copy that will focus in on the line, but you get replays. If you're looking to evaluate offensive, defensive linemen, linebackers, corners are a little shaky, but there's people that are now cutting this stuff up. And there's some people that are putting good and bad tape together where it's like good plays, bad plays. So you could watch, you could at least get an idea about how a guy plays through the quality of some of this. I can't remember the guy's name. It used to be a barrel roll is the guy.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm serious. Yeah. There was guys on YouTube, and then he switched to another guy where it's a guy named Fish now does it. Not Mike Fisher, but another
Mike Fisher out there grinding the college tape.
No, but there's people that have taken it over, and they've got these games. They've got all the big games where you can actually learn about these guys. Watching. So I encourage people, you might not have access to the all 22, but you surely can learn about players.
Cowboys, when they are trying to stop the Minnesota Vikings offense, the Minnesota Vikings offense has been bad. The reason they've been bad, their quarterback's not any good so far.
Quarterback struggle.
He did throw 3 touchdowns.
Got the ball out quicker. A lot of space. The Commanders play, they play some off coverage, and all of a sudden, Jefferson and our guys, Addison, they get it kind of rolling. These guys will get open. Hawkinson, they'll get open. Quarterback has trouble getting them the ball. You just don't want this to be the game where all of a sudden he throws the ball down the field. He's just not accurate throwing the ball down the field.
Yeah, I think for me,
you don't want that to be the game. You don't want this to be the game where all of a sudden he kind of figures that out.
And until further notice, I think the Cowboys are still people's get right game. So if JJ McCarthy can throw the ball decent, I
got a chance.
I do think that there is the chance that Justin Jefferson goes for 120. I think Jalen Naylor hit you on one where everybody forgot to cover him. I think Addison's a good player.
Yeah.
I put my faith in the Cowboys offense to score enough points and to move the ball that they can win this game.
Home game helps. Yeah.
But I would not be surprised at all if after this game, it's like, oh, maybe JJ McCarthy's okay. And it's like, no, he's not okay. Your pass defense makes the bad people look really, really good. So I do worry. I actually worry about their bad passing game because.
Look, I agree. I agree with you. Yeah. I'm not trying to blow smoke up your ass guy. I'm just saying that I think the biggest problem against the Vikings this week is their defense.
Sure.
And then now, if their offense all of a sudden figures it out against your defense that has been at times struggling in the secondary, and likely will be without Diggs, again.
I thought he was ready, Brian. I thought Diggs was ready. I thought he was healthy. I thought he's been practicing. What's going on, man?
Well, what does your guys say about Diggs? You sit there with two guys that have opinions about this.
Look, Diggs is different, man. Just don't worry about Diggs. I haven't talked to Clarence in 2 days because I've had personal things going on, but I will be at work today and I'll see what he says about Diggs. But I mean, it just sounds like when people talk about Trayvon Diggs, it's the same things that we've been talking about for 3 or 4 years.
How about they say it is what it is. When you ask guys, and I'm a guy that really believed that Diggs needed to play. Yeah. I really did believe that. I really did believe that Diggs needed to play, not only for the Cowboys, but he needed to play for himself, and maybe he's starting to hear all the whispers that he's done. He's no longer here. Maybe the whole thing with Jerry and Steven to start the year, the whole thing of having to give up $500,000, maybe that's completely soured to him. Maybe he's like, you know what? F you guys. I'm done. Just, don't make me active. I'll sit this thing out. I'll be healthy. I'll be ready to go. I'll go sign a veteran minimum somewhere and go play football. I might be where he's at right now. But, there's people there saying, and I thought he would want to get back and prove to people that he could play.
Yeah, you're going to get cut. I would think he would want a month of good tape.
Jeff, it didn't bother him when they took $500,000 away.
Yeah.
That we should have known right then and there that it wasn't. And I wanted to believe. I got fooled by this guy. I got fooled by a guy that played at one of the best programs in the country in Alabama. And really thought, this guy loves football. He wants to play football. He's a football player. I believe now that we're to the point, and again, I've been wrong about this guy a bunch, but his desires, the Cowboys' desires right now, it doesn't look like they match. They just do not match. And so, we'll see. We'll see if he gets active, and if he's not active this week, I don't anticipate him playing at any other time. I really don't.
Ooh. How would you evaluate what Savone Revel has put on tape so far, and how much of it do you think is on him, and how much of it do you think is Eberflus and them asking him? Like, here's the thing.
How many games did that kid play in would he play
6,
4 games?
7?
Play 4 games? No, no, seriously. He's played 4 games in like 20 days, right? Coming off a major knee injury, rehab and all the questions. And this kid has shown up. Let's not act like he hadn't shown up. Detroit. Amon-Ra St. Brown will make you look bad. Williams will make you look bad. They're he's dealing with his brace. He's dealing with his confidence a little bit. Raider game, Kansas City game, Philly game. That kid was a good player for you. He went out there and played. I think to me, the Detroit. If you don't pressure golf, you're going to get friggin' crushed.
Yeah.
You're going to give up plays. And listen, people are like, well, Dan Broaddus, you had him as your top corner. Yeah, he still is. Love the kid. Think he's going to be a great player for you. I really do believe that with all my heart, because I feel like he's competitive. He's tough. He's willing to tackle. He just had a rough game. But did Bland have a rough game? Everybody that's played in this secondary has had rough games. You know, give the kid a chance. These kids played 4 games in like 20 days. And now we're going to be critical about it. And I'm not saying you're being critical.
Yeah, who are you yelling at is what I want to know.
I'm yelling. I'm just yelling at the. I'm just yelling at the fact that all of a sudden this guy can't play football. You know, and that's not the case at all. This kid's a really, really good football player, and he lined up against some quality receivers, and he's shown up. But yeah, he caught a bad hand the other day. Hell, he could catch another bad hand this Sunday night. Addison and Jefferson are no joke, you know.
Yeah.
But their quarterback sucks. You know? So it'll be a little bit different. Yeah.
Dro Nose is in the super chat. Keldrick Falk really impressed me in the Iron Bowl. Went up against Proctor. That's the Alabama offensive lineman. Won some, lost some. He plays the run as well as he plays the pass. Dro Nose is deep in the scout game. He's coming at you. Brian, are you disagreeing with Dro Nose?
I'll tell you what. I like the fact that Dro watched the Iron Bowl, and it's a great tape to evaluate because of the Proctor factor there. And the thing that bothers me about Falk is he's a 6'5", 285-pound guy that I don't think is very twitchy. You know, I think he is he looks to me like, and this is my old school way of evaluating, he looks like what we used to have with Chris Canty and those kinds of guys, the guys that are kind of those 5 technique, head up, you know, play the run really well. But I don't see a really, really twitchy guy. And I think Dallas has got some guy. And this is what's been amazing about Donovan Ezaraku. Donovan Ezaraku has been a better run defender than he has been a pass rusher, you know, and he's kind of taken over that role, you know, that we kind of thought, well, who's going to be the Tank Lawrence replacement? I know, you know, Marshawn Nealon was a guy that was kind of earmarked as that particular player at a time. But you look at Donovan Ezaraku, and I think I've been more impressed with him as a run defender than I have been as a pass rusher. Falk to me is like, I'm thinking twitchy pressure guy. You know, give me the guy like Howell at Texas A&M. Give me somebody like that that's got that ability to explode off the edge, bend the corner, and then get in on the quarterback.
Alex in the super chat, do you think Shoddy could convince Jerry Jones to replace Eberflus? Everybody's
that's what's going to happen. If this thing goes down, if Matt Eberflus is replaced, I don't think Jerry Jones wants to replace Matt Eberflus before continuity. I don't think he does. But if at the end of the season, if this team is 10-6-1, 9-7-1, you know, didn't make the playoffs, I think it's, you know, for a first-year head coach building a program, I think it's a good start. If Brian Schottenheimer walks into Jerry Jones and says, I think I could do better at defensive coordinator, I think you'll see a switch. I don't think that Jerry Jones wants to make the switch unless Brian Schottenheimer says to make the switch. That's
Don't be afraid, Brian. You know, you're the head coach of the Cowboys. Have an opinion, brother. Walk up in there and
tell him, that's what I'm saying.
He got to go.
He, you know what? The front office recommended Matt Eberflus. And this is the problem that Shoddy had going in. Shoddy was fighting for his OC job. He wasn't fighting to be the head coach.
Yeah.
You know, most coaches that are interviewing for jobs, the first thing I would ask a coach if he was interviewing with me is, tell me who your staff's going to be. And then they usually have, you know, they have everything lined out, usually all the names. And you could say, okay, let me vet some of these names and see where we're at. Yeah. Or like, oh, I like what you're doing here. I don't think Shoddy had that opportunity. I think a first-year head coach, a suggestion was made from the front office about Matt Eberflus and Shoddy just being the first-year head coach. Now Shoddy's got some skin on the wall. Now he's got some skins on the wall. He could walk in there and say, listen, I need to go a different direction here.
Let's knock out these super chats. Jerome's in here. He said, hey, guys, sorry, just hopping on, hopefully. Haven't talked about it already. Thoughts on which game might be a sleeper loss on our schedule still? Why are you doing so much hating, Jerome? What about just winning all the games? I would say the one this Sunday night.
Well, this one could be bad. The
Chargers in the sleeper one. They're 8-5 or whatever.
Chargers, though, Chargers one of those teams where if you bring them across the country and you play them early, they tend to kind of not wake up. You know, they're one of those teams.
Yeah.
Me personally, I do worry about going to the Commanders on Christmas Day on a short week. I do. I do worry about the Commanders have probably quit, but I worry about your team going, their team, and are they, playing hard one last time, try and ruin somebody's season one last time. That's the games I worry about.
Will the Cowboys defense turn McCarthy into an all-pro and give up a 100-yard receiver? I don't think they'll turn McCarthy into an all-pro, but don't be surprised if Justin Jefferson goes ham. But here's
they've got a chance.
I think also with a really bad offense and a really bad quarterback play, it's very tempting to quit as a wide receiver. So all you need is Justin Jefferson to not start hot, get you about 2 dirt balls early in that game, and watch that dude's route running. Just be like, I'm good here, dude. I'm not trying to do all this. CC Black, please move on from Eberflus. Get Todd Bowles. I mean, get anybody.
Todd Bowles that's a name. Absolutely. That's a name.
Somebody asked who made the flag that is behind me, the Cavanaugh flag. That's an FC Dallas flag back in the day when we went out and did a show there, Brian. Yeah, they made me a scarf. That's a Cavanaugh FC Dallas scarf. So go Dallasans. Do we have a team name, or is it just FC Dallas? We don't do mascots in soccer.
I don't think we mascotted up at FC Dallas. I think we're just FC Dallas.
Go FC Dallas.
I think they got a bull. I think they've got a bull on their logo, or they did it one time. They had a bull.
Go Bulls. Thanks, Brian. Have a great day. Everybody remember you're trusting the tape, okay? And if you don't trust the tape, then what in the world are you trusting? Remember, you have no idea what anybody's going through. Follow Crown Global Media on YouTube. Be cool to everybody. Love you. Be easy. Bye.